I'm about to The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs.
All right, welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. I got another comedian here tonight from Pete O'Shea. He's bringing me some great guests. Justin Hodle is here. Hello.
What's going on, guys?
So you took Pete's class as well. We had Lizzie on. Lizzie was a real sweetheart. I don't know if you're a sweetheart. You seem like a nice guy so far.
I'm kind of a sweetheart when I want to be.
He says he peed on my toilet seat upstairs, so we'll see.
Well, you know, sometimes it just comes out like that.
Right. So, no, she was real sweet, and Pete's a great guy, and so him referring you.
He's a good teacher.
Yeah. So he has a lot of experience, a lot of great stories. Did he share all of his stories with you?
He did. He shared a lot about being in New York and just doing a lot of crazy things back in the day.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything in particular, but he told me he used to act like a mobster all the time. He's got a very strong New York accent.
Yeah, it's real thick.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm 43, and he's telling me his stories when he's in his 20s and 30s. You're probably in the same ballpark as me, right? You're probably late 30s, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. I turned 40 this May.
This May, okay. So,
but I identify as 30.
Okay, well that's fine. You can identify as
Don't
anything.
get that wrong. I will get
you
mad.
can identify as anything you want nowadays.
Exactly.
But did you have kind of a rambunctious childhood growing up? Were you
Not really, no. I was a really good church boy until I was 19. And basically when I got to college I just kind of went insane. I was the kid that went to church. I wore 3X shirts, big dog shirts. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, I do remember those. Yeah.
So I wore the big dog shirts. I wore like 10 cross necklaces.
Uh-huh.
I go to church every day, and I was just a good boy. I was a very independent kid, and then I went to college, and it just corrupted the fuck out of me.
College did. So you're kind of went the opposite way. You're kind of
Yeah, I did. You know, my parents were trying to raise me right, and I submitted to that for a long time, and then I was in college one day. I was in class, and I saw this kid that kept coming in late all the time, and he turned around one day. He's like, "Hey man, you got any plans for spring break this year?" I'm like, "Spring break? What's that? What do you mean?" Mm-hmm. And because I'd never gone out and partied before. I'd never done anything like that. And
did you ever drink before college?
I never drank.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No, I never even touched a boob until I was 19. So I was
wow.
I was a late bloomer. I mean, she even found that out today. She's like, "You're 19."
His wife is here.
Yeah. Carolina, say hi.
We can't. I don't have a camera. We'll bring her on. We'll bring her on at the end.
Yeah, but anyway, I went on spring break with him and did so for about 4 years in a row. But man, that was crazy. First time getting drunk. First time even touching a woman, essentially. So
wow.
I was extremely late bloomer.
Wow. Okay.
And after that, I just kind of went crazy with women, partying all the time. So I wish I would have started that sooner, so it wouldn't have gone on so long. You know what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
Because it just ended probably about 3 years ago.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm like, maybe I should settle down a little bit now.
Yeah. Let me think about I didn't really drink when I was 21. I probably didn't start drinking until I was like 23, 24, I think. I would finally start going to the bars. I think I went on my 21st birthday.
You got a lot of me. You're the cops here. Those glasses.
Yeah, so I'm trying, but so what college corrupted you? What college was it?
It was just a little community college. It wasn't even a state college. It was just a little Johns County Community College in Overland Park, Kansas. I mean, it wasn't Kansas University where they had frat parties or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you gave me some notes here about yourself, and one of them is that you're very independent. So did you grow up with two parents in the household?
I did.
Okay.
It was a traditional nuclear family.
Okay.
I mean, I had two older brothers. I had parents that were together for 40-something years. And, I mean, it's traditional family, but, you know, my brothers started the bad trend with doing drugs all the time. I can remember one thing in particular. My mom would always buy those cans of whipped cream. What do you call it? The Ready Whip?
Yeah.
And I remember that my brothers got into nitrous oxide one time, and she kept buying these bottles of Ready Whip, and she went to use the Ready Whip, and it just came out as liquid. And she took it back to the store. She did this like I swear 7 or 8 times, and they kept coming out liquid. She's like, "Why does it keep coming out as liquid?" And then she didn't realize my brothers were basically huffing that.
What are they called? Whipping it or something?
Whippets.
Whippets,
yeah, exactly.
So
I thought that was the funniest thing ever because she had no idea.
Wow, I never did that when I was a kid. I guess.
No?
Yeah. Okay.
What kind of hardcore stuff did you do? If anything,
no,
hardcore?
I just did. First time I ever smoked marijuana was in college up in Chicago. That was the first time. I didn't even do it in high school. Or anything.
You were a late bloomer too.
I was a late bloomer with stuff like that. Yeah, I never done anything harder than that. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I never even seen hard drugs. Honestly, I never even seen like cocaine or anything. I've never been around it. So.
Well, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not in the right party circles. I guess I don't know. Yeah.
There's still plenty of time, man.
Still plenty of time. That's right. So your brother was doing the whippets, and your mom.
Both my older.
So your parents probably, when you started being rambunctious at 19, coming back home from college, they probably didn't realize. Did they not notice a change in you, or did they say anything?
I mean, my mom was still trying to control me at 20 years old. I mean, she was telling me, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be going to spring break. All that's down there is drinking and partying and sex. And I'm just saying to myself, I mean, that sounds really fucking awesome. I mean, I was a good little mama's boy long enough. I'm like, man, I got to break out of this. So I did break out. I mean, I started the party life. I started becoming a professional whore. I mean, that's why I got 3 kids by 3 different women now.
Oh, man.
So I definitely broke out a little bit.
You know about this? She knows about it. Okay, that's good. Okay.
I made sure to tell her about that before
Okay.
she even went any further with me. I'm like, look, I got to tell you something. And I told her that, and I remember for about 15 minutes after we were at the bar when I told her this, I remember her just like staring up at the sky for like 15 minutes, just like trying to like figure this out. Like, should I give this guy a chance, or like he's what they say, once a whore, always a whore, right? That's pretty, yeah. Red. I'm a walking red flag. Not no pun intended.
There you
with
go.
the shirt.
You got the shirt on, yeah. So, what do you think it was about those? I guess we'll talk. What do you think it was about those relationships that you weren't committed? What was it?
I didn't want to be committed.
Oh, okay.
I was, I'd been screwed over by every girl I'd ever tried to like be loyal with, and eventually I got the mentality that I'm gonna cheat on them before they cheat on me.
Wow. So maybe it was the first girlfriend, maybe?
I think so.
It's to kind of put that scar into you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I don't think any girl ever cheated on me that I know of. If they did, it's behind my back. But so I didn't really have an excuse. I think it's just I enjoyed whoring too much.
So okay, so you went to college. What was your degree in college?
I didn't have a degree. I just went to college to go to college.
To get
I think I was just trying at first for like the 2-year degree, like the liberal arts bullshit. Just getting the basics out of the way.
Well, how would you? What was your party life like? Meeting like how would you? Because you're close to my age, so back then they didn't probably have the easily Tinder swipe left, swipe right kind of deal.
Not so much.
So was it kind of like just the bar scenes that you would go to and you'd find?
Yeah, I would basically try and go out to the bar and get lucky, as they call it. They did have some websites back then. I don't know if you remember facetojury.com. You remember that?
No, I don't.
Whatthedilly.com?
No, I don't remember.
Oh my God, you.
Well, I've been with my girlfriend for 18 years, so
okay,
I've been out.
So you wouldn't have been in that scene, but Face to Jury was just it was a site where you could put a picture up and people would rate it and comment on it.
Oh shit, that's brutal.
And and it wasn't a dating site, but it became one. So I mean, I put my picture up and I met a bunch of girls that way. It was all online, really. Like I met a lot of girls online.
I think like the Facebook, if I remember watching that Social Network, that was like his first thing he did. On
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, Zuckerberg. You ever see that movie? I think he'd set something up like that.
I did not see that movie. I wanted to see it, but all I know about him is that I think his classmates were basically saying that he stole that idea from them.
I'm sure all those people steal from everyone. I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, I say whoever gets to it first.
I agree. I see people. I'm influenced by other people I watch. People I can see are sometimes influenced. I've had people come on the podcast and then a month later, they have their own set and they have it blue and shaped just like this and all kinds of stuff, which is great, which is fine.
I mean, I thought about going home and doing.
I think you do a good job.
If I had a basement,
I think you kind of have that Cool Hand Luke kind of vibe. I think you'd be a good podcast host for real.
It's a possibility. I mean, I do have my own blog site, so I might turn it into a podcast.
Your own what's your blog site about?
Stonergazette.com. It's just right now it's just a blog site for myself, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to make a website, so I want to make it like a social media type spot.
Okay.
I basically made a site for anybody that's stoned or messed up at the time, they can just post their thoughts, and that is my intended future for it. But like I said, I need to hire somebody to do the WordPress and all that fun stuff because I know nothing about that.
So what's your blogs about? Like, so you go on there and you blog. What you talk?
I have a very analytical mind, so I mean I zoom in on stuff to like the smallest degree possible. I see things in the news and I just zoom in on it. Like, this is the agenda. I feel like this is what they're doing. Anything in the news, like anything in my life, I can kind of zoom in on it and just like give a more detailed explanation of it.
Do you feel
you can do that when you're stoned? I don't know if you get stoned.
Do you feel like?
Are you stoned right now, sir?
No, I'm not. I used to drink quite a bit, but I don't drink anymore. But so you're saying with the meat? Do you feel like when you watch like the news, it's just a theater? Do you feel like you're just watching theater?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a theater.
Right.
I mean, I've seen.
I feel the same way.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. I think
you see too much behind the scenes stuff to like.
Well, I come from a video editing, so I used to make well for my day job. I do video editing and I do corporate media stuff.
I can tell you do a lot of that type of stuff. This is very intricate.
So I used to make fundraising videos for raising money for charities when I was like in my 20s and 30s, and so I would learn how to like capture emotion by certain shots and music and putting certain sound bites together. And when I watch the news, I see all that shit, like what they're doing, the same kind of
it's like a CGI like
rhythm thing I do with my editing. So I do see that. So the way they're trying to like their agenda, I can tell by watching a video what their agenda is. I feel like a lot of documentaries nowadays are the same way. Like they're trying to push like agenda on you more than they're just trying to tell a real story. Yeah. And that's how I feel. It's that's why I don't know. I really like watching documentaries, but I don't like half of them. I can feel like they're trying to put some kind of agenda. Yeah.
I watched a video the other day of them making the moon landing, and that's something I've never really researched. I've always wondered about that, but I actually saw a video of them acting. They did it in the Nevada desert. And I'm just watching this video. I'm like, holy shit! Like even Buzz Aldrin said that they never went to the moon.
I feel. I mean,
see,
I don't know. My thoughts on it. They probably maybe went to the moon, but I feel like the technology wasn't there for them to do a broadcast from the moon. Because I mean, you still can't make phone calls on the airplanes and you know what I'm saying. Like it just seems like I don't know if like it just seemed like they probably was pre-recorded kind of deal.
I don't know, man. I mean, like when you see them like landing on the moon, it's like who's actually filming that? That's always my question. Like, is there another ship out there filming that?
I think the camera was supposedly on the rig, but I mean I don't know. Look, I don't know.
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video.
I don't have enough education to explain. I don't know. I'll
send you the video afterwards. You can tell me if you think.
I love watching that shit. I love watching it.
Yeah, me too. So we got something in common. We're both conspiracy buffs.
I do like watching the conspiracy theories and I do listen to certain people that are conspiracy theorists kind of people. And it's fun. It's fun. It's entertainment to listen to.
Yeah, you gotta wonder how much of it's true. I mean, she'll be the first one to tell you I'm way too into that stuff. But I mean, I think a lot more of it's truth than not.
Well, I think look, like I said, I'm not educated on anything about that, but I'm saying like I think they're going to be going to the moon with. Recently, I think they just landed like a probe or something on the moon. So. If the shots don't line up like identical to the ones from 1968, like the truth's going to come out, right?
It's going to look
it's going to be a presidential debate. So
yeah, it's going to look like the Caribbean up there or something.
Right. So the lighting's not going to look the same as it did. Yeah. So then how they're going to explain it? So
it was the 60s. We only had so much video equipment.
Right. So you moved here. I appreciate you sending me notes because now from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long have you lived in St. Louis?
I've been in St. Louis about 6 years now.
Okay.
And I bought a house out here mainly because my kids are centered here, but also the houses are just so fucking cheap here. I'm not used to be. I don't know if anything's cheap anymore. I mean, I bought my house back in 2019.
Really? Compared to Kansas City, it's cheaper here in St. Louis?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
St. Louis is like the redheaded stepchild of Missouri. Like, no business wants to be here. All the cool restaurants are over in Kansas City. They got fucking Whataburger over there. Dude, I love Whataburger. Like, I guess Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs was the one that brought Whataburger to Kansas City.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, why can't he do that for St. Louis? I know his team's not there, but come on. We all love Whataburger.
Yeah, I go to Kansas City no, I do. I go to Kansas because with my work, we have 8 different warehouses, and I go to Kansas City probably once a year. So, so I have to go out there and shoot stuff. And like
nice.
Oregon Tool, like they're, I don't really want to get into depth of where I work, but their factories out there. So I've been out.
Crazy fans showing up there.
Yeah, so I've been out to Kansas City quite a bit, but it is very nice out there.
Yeah, there's a lot more businesses out there than there are here.
So you grew up there your whole life. So you're a Royals, Chiefs fan.
If I watch sports, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not a big sports guy?
I mean, I've just never understood the point of it. Like, we actually had a little bit of an argument about this recently because she loves soccer, and she will scream at the top of her lungs for freaking soccer. But I'm just like, why put that much energy into something? Like, if they win, is it really going to affect your life at all? And I mean, that's the way I see it.
Yeah. I don't want to get her mad at me, but soccer to me, I like watching hockey.
She doesn't get mad too easily.
I like watching hockey. Soccer, you're waiting like sometimes they don't even score in a game. It's like it's like a 2-hour, 3-hour game, and I don't know. I just don't see like the excitement as much as I do when I watch like maybe football or even baseball.
More bloodshed.
Yeah, it just seems like there's more action going on. More.
I mean, from what I can tell, an average soccer game is like 3 or 4 points on average.
Right.
Like 2 hour, like you said, 2-hour game, 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, it's the biggest sport in the world though. World Cup is I think the World Cup had more views than anything in the whole entire world.
Really?
Yeah, I think it did.
Crap.
I think it did.
Is that true, baby?
Is that true? Did I tell a fact here? I did. All right, good. See, I tell facts. I tell facts here.
Well, you're a podcaster, I hope so. I hope you're not speaking lies.
I try not to do fake news here. That's why I didn't want to go. That's why I didn't want to talk much about the moon landing.
Oh, boy.
So you moved here from Kansas City, St. Louis. So you were here during the pandemic. You got some notes there.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I was traveling a lot during the pandemic. Believe it or not, I was going back and forth to Colombia, which is where my wife is from.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's cool down there. I mean, everything is the complete opposite, really, of the United States. It just everything is different there. And,
what examples? What do you mean?
Like the stoplights. The stoplights. It turns yellow when it's about to turn green. Like I was driving there and I found that incredibly odd. Every time I see yellow, I'm tempted to stop, but it's actually turning green, so I got honked at all the time.
But
does
it go from green to red then?
It goes from green to red, right? Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
I about got.
How you know this starts slowing up?
I don't know. The point is to clear the intersection is what I learned in driver's ed class.
Wow. That's kind of unusual. So how were you able to go from Colombia, United States, with the pandemic going on, with the travel bans and
I mean, as long as you had your vaccine card,
they
normally let you.
So this was a little bit later than okay.
Yeah, the travel wasn't shut down. I mean, we met in November 2021, so it was getting towards the latter part of the pandemic.
Gotcha.
And I call it that because I don't really believe it was such a pandemic, but everybody else believes it, so yeah, I know.
Well,
we're not going to go. We're not going to go.
I want to.
We're not going to go into semantics on that one.
Right.
No conspiracy. This isn't a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Like, damn it, dude! You already talked about the moon landing. You can't keep talking about. Yeah. So what's some other things about Colombia? Because I've never been there. So. Because Lizzie's going to Ecuador for like a retreat or something. She was talking about on the podcast yesterday. What's like
what kind of retreat is she going? I didn't hear.
She's going like some animal reservation to work with monkeys for 2 weeks. And
really?
Yeah.
She didn't tell us about that.
Yeah. So
it's beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah.
That's probably the first thing I noticed about it when I got there. It's weird. Like shopping malls there are very full. They're very happening places.
But the English language is a secondary language. No.
Most people don't know English. It's actually a rarity that she knows English. I felt like I found a diamond in the rough there.
Right. Really. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know enough Spanish. I can get by for the most part. But the shopping malls there, like here, the shopping malls are all dead and dying, and got homeless people lying inside of them. And you go there, and they're actually quite bustling. I mean, they have all the stores. There's no vacancies. People go there because it's safer rather than walk around outside, which can be a little bit dangerous sometimes. So they just go there and walk around, and it's a fun place.
So you went to Colombia and you met your wife in Colombia at a bar?
Yeah, okay. I was actually in Santa Marta. I was seeing my best friend at the time. And I was there, and we actually met on. And she hates this fact, but we actually met on.
I know she's not on the podcast here, but we can pull up pictures here. So
yeah. We just took that one. Last week.
You definitely when you go to Colombia, you level up, right?
Yeah. No,
I'm just playing.
Well, I'll say I dress a lot better in Colombia.
but you're saying?
Yeah. So where were we going with that?
You met her in Colombia.
Yeah. Sorry. I met her on Bumble, it's a dating app. It's like Tinder. It's like a swiping app. And I mean she's probably one of the few girls I met on Bumble there. That's not so big down there. Tinder is the main thing down there, but that's something that more the escorts use. So I tried to stay away from Tinder, and then she messaged me on Bumble, and we actually met. I think about 2 or 3 weeks later. So yeah, and we had a good date. I mean, there was a lot of drinking, a lot of craziness, and I actually took her dancing. Did the whole Latino thing.
Okay, and so you're traveling with your work? You're saying you're in a...
No, I was just down there on vacation, basically. My best buddy moved down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's got his wife down there. He just stayed down there. He got 3 DUIs in Kansas. He lives on the Kansas side over there still. He used to. So he got 3 DUIs, and he was looking at a felony charge for that. And he got off of that somehow. And they released it like a misdemeanor, and then he just said, "Screw this country, I'm going to Colombia." So, I mean, I don't blame him. I thought about the same thing before. So,
how is it? I know people have to get visas to come to the United States, but if you went to go to like Colombia, I mean, how does that work when you have the other way around? You get citizenship in a different country like that?
Well, for Colombia, you do need to get a visa. For Colombians to come here, they have to get a visa. If you're American, you can go there without a visa, as long as you're not staying over 90 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So your buddy, what did he do when he stayed over 90 days?
He went down there. I think he met his wife when he was down there. And I think he just got like a 90-day extension on it. He just decided he wanted to stay in Santa Marta, which is like it's like an undisclosed treasure in Colombia. I mean, it's gorgeous beach town. It's very touristy. I mean, I find more Europeans there than I do American people. So, I mean, he went down there. He loved it. That's the good thing about Colombia. It's cheap.
Yeah. I mean, you see all these action movies about Colombia and like the cartel and is it like that? Or, I mean,
no, I honestly think that's another one of the media's little fear mongering campaigns to keep people in the United States. But, it's not like that at all. I mean, there's a lot of parts of Colombia. I think if you walked around, you'll probably get kidnapped. But mainly in the cities, I mean, it's fairly safe. I mean, I used to walk all over Barranquilla, which is where we stayed at.
Yeah.
And I mean, I walked all over that town, even in the shady areas, and I mean, I was fine. And if you're white in that country, you're a target because they see white equals money.
Right. So do people hound you? Because somebody was talking about when they went to Italy that they like. Little kids will try to steal your wallet and stuff, and you can't push.
In Italy, really?
Yeah, in Italy. So you can't push and hit a little. I mean, I guess you could, but you
can't smack the kid.
Well, I guess you could, but you're probably not going to smack a little kid that if it was an adult, you probably would. But I'm saying,
right.
But do they have that in Colombia that like people try to? You said since
no.
Okay.
No, I never saw that. The only place I ever saw that was when I was on spring break. We went to Matamoros, Mexico, and the kids there were basically trying to reach in our pockets, and I'm like, oh, these kids are so nice out here. My friend's like watch out, and like I found these kids like It's like trying to pick my pocket. I'm like, this little freaking kid. Like, they teach their kids to do that, and they're like experts at it. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, that's what the person was saying, that they can put like a magazine like this over your purse, and they get it out real quick.
Really?
Like, yeah. So they're really quick.
Those kids to teach me how to do that.
I know. It's pretty quick. So you met your wife on a site. You guys hit it off. You had a good I feel like this is like a love connection, by the way. I feel like this is fun.
Cupid.
So you guys hit it off. Now, obviously, how many dates did it take before you said, hey, you want to come back to the United States with me?
Oh, I don't know. I think we were probably a good 6 months in, I think. Is that about right? 8 months?
Oh, she says
I
1 month later.
but we're talking about coming back here.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 6 months at least before I asked her to come back here and stay with me. But it was more than that. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, it was hard leaving the Horden life and asking a girl to marry me. But you know, I thought to myself, I'm like getting older and my biological clock's ticking. It's probably time I settle down.
Well, so, that's good. It sounds real romantic, I'm sure.
Like Casanova.
Right. Let's talk about you. You are very funny, by the way. You have a natural, like, I don't know. It's like a kind of a, I don't know. It's kind of like you don't really give a shit kind of thing, kind of attitude.
Well, I mean, that's probably with one of the things I said is I have trouble taking things seriously, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because, I mean, I can make anybody laugh despite how pissed off they look. Like, I have that gift. And, but at the same time, I can't seem to take anything seriously because I always want to make jokes. So, like, every one of my jobs, and I've worked a lot of fucking jobs, like, I've always had to be told, like, pay attention, you know, like, keep your mind in focus here. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, all right, whatever.
You remind me of my best friend, God rest his soul. We used to do a show back in 2012, but he had the same kind of attitude like you did, and it was just funny because just how he would react to certain situations. We're not like the normal ways people react to those types of situations, and it was just kind of like it was just comedy in itself. So some of your notes, you said you were like the black sheep of the family, and you've always been that funny guy with everything, right? Yeah. So,
well, I mean, I had to be because I mean, if your life gets so bad, and it was pretty bad at one point, you know, all you can do is make fun of it. So, I mean, I had to start learning to make fun of everything. And because I wasn't like that when I was younger. I was super serious when I was young, and I was super introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think the funniness has helped me connect with people more. Mm-hmm. And it's helped make me, I think, a more likable person. I might be wrong, but I think it's made me.
I think it helps you probably control the situation a little bit, maybe. Mm-hmm. Kind of like you don't take it too serious. You keep everything down to this level here. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's more of an inability or like a fear of connecting with somebody. I got to keep that buffer of laughter between us.
I got it.
Yeah, that's why I make my wife laugh so much. Fear of connection.
She is smiling over there. That's good. I'm glad that
I'm good at making her laugh.
Yeah. So let's talk about Pete's class.
Yeah.
You say he's a great teacher, which I agree with that statement.
He looks like Colonel Sanders. Like, seriously, he puts his glasses on. I mean, he's got longer hair now, but he showed pictures when he had short hair with the glasses. I'm like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're Colonel Sanders, where's your recipe at? Like, we need to get that recipe for the fried chicken.
I do kind of see the Colonel Sanders now. You
tell him to put on those glasses when you see him next. He looks like Colonel Sanders.
What's some things, because I want people because we have a lot of people that watch the show, they're artists, kind of like into like the whole entertainment field. And I'm sure a lot of them have aspirations to do stand-up comedy one day. Talk about what type of, how the classes, talk about, like, what did he teach you? Like, what was the things, some takeaways that you got from the class?
Well, mainly the first day we were told to get up and talk about our lives for 1 minute and make it funny. And I'm just like, whoa. Well, he didn't say make it funny, but I mean, I took it as make it funny because it is a comedy class. So, you know, as the first thing we did the first day was we got up, we introduced ourselves, we kind of told a little bit about our life. And I think all of us tried to make it funny just because it's a comedy class. Mm-hmm. So I think I did pretty good the first day. And, you know, he was just talking about, you know, no matter how hard, no matter what you think of yourself and how stupid you feel, to just keep pushing on, because every comedian thinks that when they first start. I mean, like, you don't know what to do with your arms, your hands when you're up there talking. You don't know what kind of body movements to make.
I still don't know all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm still learning. I mean, I was getting it down a little bit, but you know, mainly just keep on keeping on.
What's some of the, like, I mean, you don't have to give your jokes away here on the podcast, but what's some of the things your life experiences? Because you did have some notes about the different jobs that you've had. I bet you've had a lot. I bet you've got fired a lot.
I'm not a good employee. No, I am not.
You
an
just give that vibe
person.
to me. I don't know what it is. I just got that vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, I get the vibe myself. Yeah, I'm not what you would call employable. You know, I've worked almost every company. I mean, I worked at Lowe's, I worked at Home Depot, I worked at Walmart, I worked at Target. I was actually loss prevention at Target, believe it or not. I mean,
I bet you stole shit, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Actually, I was good. That was my good. That was my good me back then. No, but I was the one playing with the cameras there, and there was another loss prevention guy, and he left the room all the time, and I would just like, where the fuck does he go all the time? So I followed him with the cameras, and these Target cameras, even back then, this was like early 2000s. You could on the outside cameras, you can zoom in for miles on those things.
Oh yeah. I worked at the casino. I was surveillance, so you could zoom
I
in.
bet casino cameras are crazy.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But keep going. Yeah.
But yeah, and I was watching him, and he goes over. I don't know if you remember if they still have it, but they had like the game console that you could go there and play.
Yeah.
And he would just go there and play this whole shift. He would just go there and play the video game console. I was like, does this motherfucker ever work? So I'm the only one like watching people with the camera, making sure nobody's stealing. But I can tell you that they don't do jack shit. You know, they don't watch you. They just fuck around the whole time. So
I worked at the casino. I was surveillance, and there's 5 people below. Like this, I was working at Ameristar. There's 5 people below. They have to have 5 people on the clock on the cameras.
You worked at the casino. You probably have a squeaky clean background.
I do.
Yeah.
I got a good background. But you would have to watch employees, like audit them and watch them for 2 hours every day. So you'd pick an employee, and then like the slap techs there, folks, they just hide and don't do shit. It's the people that really work are like the bartenders and the cocktail waitresses and the dealers. But those slap techs and stuff, they're hard to find. They go find places to hide. Yeah. So talk about some other jobs, because I bet you got some really good stories. What's a job that you've that you got fired from
I got fired from a lot of jobs. I mean, I literally have had probably I'd say a couple hundred jobs throughout my teenage years and early 20s, just because either leaving for higher pay or just quitting or getting fired, whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked at Home Depot for a while. I was cashier there, and I was out in the garden section cashiering one time, and the line got so ridiculously long. I basically just took off my apron and walked out. And I called the boss. I called the boss today. I'm like, hey man, I'm quitting.
Wow.
Yeah, I just left a line there. And
well, at least you called the boss and
yeah, I was nice. I think I was the one that started the I guess they term it quiet quitting.
Oh, okay.
That's where you just basically don't show up or just leave on the clock.
Yeah.
So I think I want to credit myself with the original one to start that.
That's a good bit for you. You should use that for your stand-up. That's good.
Yeah. And I think the craziest one, I got fired from Nebraska Furniture Mart in Kansas City. I worked there as like a customer pickup, which is basically people buy furniture and you load it onto their vehicles for them and you tie it down. And which was fun enough in itself, because you'd have people come in with sedans and
put a couch on there,
yeah, and they're like, "Can you tie that couch to the top?" And I'm just like, "You sign a waiver, we can." But anyways, I made the mistake of breaking a pot. It was, you can buy like the pots there, and they have those back there too.
Yeah.
I broke it, and if you break anything there, you have to get drug tested. So I did that, and I got away with it. I got it. I came out clean, and they said, "Don't worry about the vase. We'll let you back on there. Don't worry about it." The next day, I was loading something onto somebody's vehicle, and I scratched their car. And if you scratch somebody's car, they drug test you. This is the next day after I had the first drug test.
Yeah.
That night, I went and smoked some weed with my friend David, who I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared on me. He put some cocaine in the weed. He's like, "You ever tried Primo, man?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." So he sprinkled some of that in my weed, and I smoked that night. And I agreed to the drug test that day, and I went and I took it. That afternoon, they called me in and they said, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to let you go." I'm like, "Why? I'm doing everything. I'm doing my job. I'm not doing anything wrong."
Yeah.
Like, "Yeah, well, your drug test came up positive for cocaine." I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Wow.
So he said, because of this, you are fired, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, we can't let you leave the premises, because if you came up positive for that, you might still be on it. So legally, we can't let you leave.
So what the hell were they?
And me being the rebel I was back then, I'm like, "Well, fuck you. What the fuck? How are you going to hold me in here?" So I just kicked out the door. I ran out to my car as fast as I could before security could get there. Because they had security there. It's like the cops. It's a
Yeah,
massive
but so
place.
what would they're going to do? Hold you for the police or hold you till?
Legally, I think the security would have to hold me, which I don't think would even be that legal, because I could just if you resist him, it's not like a resisting arrest charge.
Right.
So, I think I could have gotten out of that if they tried to hold me, but I just said, screw it. I ran out of my car and drove off.
When you worked loss, I got a question for you, because I
Yeah.
always wondered this. When you worked loss prevention, because I always wondered about that job, because I worked at Lowe's and Home Depot as well. I didn't
Okay.
get fired though. I just left.
Are you sure?
No, I left to go to school. But
Sure.
so the loss prevention guy one time, he tackled the kid fucking leaving because he
This
stole.
was at Lowe's?
This was at Lowe's.
Okay.
This is 1998. This is a long time ago, but you're not allowed to like tackle anybody for stealing, are you? I mean, you.
I don't know
what's
about
the
back then. I think now you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Back then, I think that was before they started having so many lawsuits against it. Because you could tackle them, and if they even get scratched at all, I mean, they can sue you. But they can also sue you, like, it was mental trauma. They called me all this trauma because they tackled me.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they could still sue back then, but I don't think it was prevalent as it is now.
Yeah.
So
Did you ever have an instance that you had to like
no
shake down somebody? Okay.
No, I didn't. I mean, we followed people around the store, but we never tackled anybody. And I think at that point we might not have been allowed to. That was like mid 2000s, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna. Sometimes when I go to Walmart and I do the self checkout, sometimes I get free items. I don't know how it happens, but sometimes free items fall in my cart.
How free items, they fall in your cart?
They fall in my cart. I don't know how it happens, but
Did you scan these free items?
I thought I did. But
Hashtag Walmart.
what's some like tells if somebody's since you worked loss prevention that somebody's going to steal? How can you? How do you know that this guy walking down the aisles? Oh, that guy is going to be filling his pockets. Like, how do you figure that out?
Well, I mean, I guess the first one might be the shifty eyes.
The shifty eyes.
The shifty eyes.
Oh, they're looking around.
Yeah, looking around, looking all around.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
the shifty eyes. But the second one, the definite one, is a trench coat. If they're wearing a trench coat, they're either going to shoot up the place or they're going to steal shit. So
okay. Trench coat. Okay, trench coat. Okay.
I'm making these up completely. We didn't actually learn this in class, but I'm just saying what we looked for was just people that were walking around the store for a long time, not buying anything, and just acting shady.
Oh, okay.
We actually did catch people, like following women around the store and stuff, and I'm just like,
that's fucking weird.
Man, there's some creepy motherfuckers there.
Oh, it's totally creepy. Did you find that creepy? Because I bet you, you're a nice guy, but I'm sure like a lot of guys that are kind of creepy, they go to these other countries like this to meet women. Or were there a bunch of creepos in Colombia? Did you see a lot of creepos in Colombia?
We have some, but we should tell you about the Jack.
Jack. She was saying about Jack.
But that's not funny. That's more tragic with Jack. Jack.
Oh, we can tell a tragic story. I think we're ready for a tragic story.
You ready for this one's national tragic. No, Jack was a guy I met at Walmart. He was working there. I was cashier at Walmart.
Walmart in Colombia?
No. This was in America. This was before Colombia.
Jack that works at Walmart.
No, this is just a story I told her because she couldn't believe I knew somebody like this.
Oh, okay.
No, I was working with Jack for a while. We were the ones that was putting wheelbarrows together and the bicycles and all that stuff at Walmart. cashiering, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Jack was a guy I thought was cool. You know, he could talk to customers and, you know, not get fazed by their bullshit, which is something I had trouble with. But he was a very calm and collected person. And we became friends. And turns out that Jack was a bit of a Satanist.
A Satanist?
A Satanist. So I actually went and hung out.
What is? Explain to me what it's. I don't know. Satanist meaning
Yeah,
you
so
believe in the devil, kind of
yeah,
rituals and stuff like
exactly.
that. Okay.
So I actually went to his apartment, hung out for a couple times. The second time he showed me, it was like an altar that he had to Satan. It had the pentagram on it, and it had like a bunch of candles around it.
Okay.
It was literally like an altar table.
Okay, so you go over to Jack's house, and he's like, "Well, here's my refrigerator, here's my couch, this is my PlayStation 2. When does it come to like comfortable time and be like, oh, here's my altar over here? Like, when does that happen?
That's funny. I don't know how it got to that part. It was not really well hidden. I mean, it was kind of like in the central part of his apartment. I mean, it was like there was a curtain there. He just pulled the curtain back, and there was this altar to Satan. So I thought that was weird enough. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
that's fucking weird. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, you're a bit of an oddball, but
Right.
You seem like cool people. So it comes out at some point that Jack was implicated in kidnapping a girl from Target.
The competitor? He went to the competitor and stole from the competitor? Fucking Walmart motherfucker.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't steal. He didn't steal an item from Target. He actually stole the girl from Target.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So there was video of him. He was following this girl around Target, like I said, a lot of guys did.
Yeah. Wow.
And he is obviously targeted this girl. You know, she's a younger girl, beautiful. He's following around Target. I guess she was getting some decorations for a birthday party her family was having, and she went out to her car, and I guess he was following her out to her car. He bumped her into her car and then drove off with her car, and she wasn't seen or heard from ever again. And her body turned up a day later at a lake near Kansas City, and she was murdered, raped, all that stuff.
What year was this? 10 years ago or something?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would say probably 15, 16 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I think Kelsey Smith was her name. I mean, you could look up Kelsey Smith on Google, and this is like national news. I mean, this was a big fucking deal.
Right. Did they...
and like they didn't interview me, and I didn't offer to come forward as like a witness to his personality, but I'm like, the last time I talked to him, it was really odd. Like I actually called him before this happened to hang out with him. I'm like, hey, what's up, Jack? What are you doing, man? He's like, who is this? I'm like, it's Justin, bro. What's up? He's like, who is this? I don't know who this is. And he hung up the phone on me.
Right.
That was the last I talked to him before he did this incident.
So after this incident, there was a search for her. Mm-hmm. How did he get caught?
Oh, massive search for her.
But how did he?
The cameras captured his vehicle coming in the Target, which if he really planned this, he did not plan it very well.
Right.
And his neighbor called up the police and said, hey, that's my neighbor's truck next door. And, he said, I got along with this guy really well. He's the nicest guy. He had a wife and a kid, which is the worst part of it. I feel bad for them.
Wait, Jack had a wife and kid?
Yeah.
But how did they hide the altar? Did they not know about the altar?
No, I think she was kind of on that level. She was kind of weird. I remember meeting her.
Oh, okay.
I just feel bad for his kid. I mean,
right.
How are you when people talk about your dad, it's like, oh, well, something we don't really talk about.
Yeah. So he's in jail now?
Yeah. She only wanted to mention that because that was when I met him at Walmart. That was at Target.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So there's some tragedy. I know it's not funny at all.
But I mean,
it's just
run into all kinds of weirdos all the time. I mean, you can't control who you know what I'm saying?
Well, they always say, I knew that guy. Like, he was a really nice guy. Like,
right. They always say about those school shooters and shit.
Yeah. I remember when I lived in Kansas City, there was some guy that was like, had a bunch of women locked in his basement. And I remember his next door neighbor being like that dude was cool. It was a black guy. Like I had ribs with that guy. Like, I guess they had barbecues together.
Right, over at the house. And
Yeah.
There was a house like that in like Ohio that had like 3 women that were like locked in this house
Yeah.
in the basement. They had like a sound secure room for like, but it was like 20 years they were down there. Like it was a long ass time like that.
Like, I don't get that, man. Like, you're telling me 20 years you didn't find one chance to escape. Like, I think they wanted to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that too. But what a horrible
Yeah.
way to spend your time. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
horrible. I mean,
But people like that guy with the Ohio one I was talking about, like people actually came in the house and was like walking around upstairs, and people would come, like the cable guy would come fix the cable.
so he's like, here's the refrigerator, here's the stove, here's the family room. There's some cages down there. Don't worry about those.
don't go down the steps. The bathroom's not working down there. Keep upstairs. I don't know. I don't know how they get away with it. That's
Bro,
crazy.
why are all these plastic tie downs all over? What do you call those
Right.
things?
Yeah, those zip ties.
Why are all these plastic
Yeah.
zip ties all over? I don't worry about that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I gotta ask because you got me all thinking. Where you? So how do you make money to go to Columbia and support your lovely wife over here? I mean, if you don't keep, what job do you work now?
I do. Well, I used to do sales for roofs.
Oh, okay.
And I did really well. I mean, I found sales was my number one niche.
Yeah, niche. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I don't
niche,
know.
yeah, whatever
Niche,
the fuck it is.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I found that was the number one thing I'm good at because I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at putting people at ease. I mean, I can be sitting here with a husband and a wife and talking to them and being like, well, I'm getting them to trust me that I'm the one they need to use to replace the roof. Like after a hailstorm, you got a dozen roofers a day coming to your door. Actually, a dozen roofers an hour probably.
Yeah, my cousin worked for a company called ARC, or actually owned both my cousins owned ARC. Yeah.
Yeah, really? I've heard of that company.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're around anymore. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, he works for a different company now. But yeah, so they storm chase, and then you go into neighborhoods that get hit by hail because people are like, they got damage in the roof. The insurance is going to cover it. They just want it to get fixed. They don't really give a shit about anything else, right? So they just want to find somebody to fix it, right?
It's true. But the problem is when you got, like I said, a dozen people coming to your door an hour, it kind of complicates things. Like, well, I mean, at that point, you're just like, go away. I'm just going to call a roofer out of the phone book or something.
Yeah.
That sounds old. Phone book at Google. Sorry.
Well, right, but yeah. They probably do get it. Yeah, my brother just got hail damage in O'Fallon, and he got a new roof. And
O'Fallon got smashed.
Yeah, got smashed. And so what he had to do is because he was getting a lot of people coming to his door, he just put a sign: "We already have a roofing company. Please don't knock on the door," or whatever.
I mean, you can get those no soliciting, city approved signs, and you can actually get a fine if you go to those doors.
Oh, really?
And I only know because that was how I started off in that business, and I was a door knocker.
Uh-huh.
So basically, I go door to door, and I would get leads for the salespeople. And I became so good at that, they couldn't actually keep up with my leads. So, I told my manager, I'm like, hey, man, I got all these leads and nobody's running them. He's like, we're too busy, man. Why don't you just run them yourself? I'm like, sell? No, I don't do that. I'm just a lead generator. I don't sell.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, well, might go to waste, but we'll get to them when we get to them. So I tried one of the leads, and the first one, I actually sold it. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, holy crap, that was so easy.
What type of percentage do you guys make off those?
At that point, it was 50-50. That's when the company was smaller and, I could actually talk to the owner. We hung out all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's one of the top 20 commercial roofing companies in the country.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean...
You make 50% of the sale?
Of the profit.
Of the profit.
So,
okay.
if we do... this is residential. Average residential roof, you might make... I don't know, $5,000 on, maybe 10 if it's good.
You'll pull in $2,500 then.
So the company takes 50% of it right off the bat. That brings it down. Say if it's 10,000, bring it out to 5. I would get 50% of that, so it'd be 2,500.
Wow.
So I mean, there's good money in it, but
yeah.
I just got fucking tired of people in residential.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay your deductibles. I'm like, dude, I'm getting you a free roof. What do you mean you don't want to pay your deductible? It's freaking $500.
Right.
So I got out of it, and me and my manager hatched a little plan to strictly sell commercial roofing.
Oh. Okay.
And, he had some experience in it, but I was scared to death because he said, give up all the jobs you sold and give them to some other sales associate. And I'm like, no, man, that's like $10,000 in jobs I have right there, which was a lot of money to me back then. I mean, that's quite a bit of money.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
And he said, all right, well, you can stay here and keep selling residential, or you can come with me and we can sell commercial. And I took a leap of faith, and I've never looked back on that.
Wow.
Commercial, it's treating me a lot better. They make a lot more money. You talk about, you know, a little $20,000 roof on a house. I mean, you know, commercial might be $1 million. So, you know, if the profit on $1 million job is 100,000, I mean, you do the math on that.
Wow.
I mean, it can be pretty lucrative.
Wow. That's
So
where you get those-
that is how I was able to travel all the time, because it got to the point where I was strictly calling property owners, and I was just getting the lead that way, and I would send it to my manager. He would run it, he would sell it, and I would get my cut of it.
So you're just working from home, not even. Wow.
And I think she'll tell you I was working a lot more in Columbia because it's more motivating. Like in Missouri, like they call it Missouri because it is misery. It really is. I mean, I love Missouri. It's cheap, but it's not. It's not very fun to live in.
No, and I have 2 questions. I got a 2-part question with that.
Yeah.
So, you sold roofs in Columbia?
No. No, the insurance. I only do insurance work. No, at Columbia, they don't really.
Okay, so you did insurance work in Columbia. How did you pitch your wife? You proposed to her after a month, you said.
Supposedly, I think it was longer than that. But
all right. We'll say 2 months. We'll say 2 months so I can get my question. Then 8 months. You're like, do you want to come back to the United States? And she's probably like, yes, I want to come back I would love to come to the United States. But
Actually,
you're like, well, it's not LA. She's like, oh, is it New York? It's in New York. And you're like, it's not New York either. How about Miami? I love going. And she's like, no, I live
all those places above she would love to live in, granted.
Right. I live in St. Louis, Missouri.
She's like, where?
Missouri?
The fuck is that?
Yeah. So
yeah, this was probably the least.
That was the hardest sale pitch he ever did, folks. That was the toughest thing he ever did sell, right there.
Yeah,
I think to Missouri.
I think it was. She had no idea she'd ever end up in fucking Missouri.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, Missouri, of all places.
Where you guys what live in the South County, West County? Where
I live in Ditmer, which nobody, even in St. Louis, knows where the fuck it's at. It's
I drove through it before. I don't know where.
Oh
what
God,
highway
I'm
it
sorry,
was.
man. It's dangerous out there.
Is that Missouri side? That's Missouri, right?
It's Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's near Hillsboro. We always just tell people Hillsboro. If they're not Hillsboro,
okay.
I just say Festus. It's the closest big city.
Okay.
Yeah. You can blink your eyes and you're through it. So I mean, like I said, the houses are so cheap in the area. I'm just like, man, how can I turn this down? It's right on the river. It's 55,000. I'm just like, I mean, you're not gonna find a house anywhere that cheap nowadays. But
yeah.
You know, back then, I'm like, you know, I had all my stuff in 4 different storage units throughout the entire country because I travel all the time. So it was nice to have all my stuff under one fucking roof.
Yeah.
You know. So, and I think I'm a good homeowner because when you're homeless, you tend to appreciate the things that you have when you have a house.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure you're the same way when you.
I do.
I
wish my house was a little bit bigger.
You have You have a basement that comes in handy when there's tornadoes.
Right. Well, especially for my man cave down here. Yeah.
Oh,
I wish it was a little bit bigger though. I could make one more studio set over here.
So you put in a pool table right there too.
I'm not really big in pool tables, but yeah, I want to build one more set down here. I wish I had a little bit more space, but
okay.
So well, that's kind of cool with your traveling though, because. Yeah. Learning comedy, you can go travel and do comedy at different places. Do you ever think about when you go back to Columbia, trying some comedy down there? Do they have comedians down in Columbia? Do they have? She says yes, they do.
They speak Spanish though.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know about Medellin. I mean, maybe down there, there's people. There's a lot of expats there, but it's mostly Spanish down there. So I don't think it would be such a big thing.
We have 7 minutes left. Can you please just make a cameo for the last 7 minutes?
Maybe come sit down for a second.
Yeah, you can sit next to him. I got to adjust the camera here. So just tell us a little bit about your next show. That way it kills the dead air. I don't want to have dead air. When's your next show going to be?
July 27th, I'm going to be at the American Legion, which means I'm probably going to be performing for a bunch of old motherfuckers. They're probably going to be very drunk. Since it's American Legion, it's like VFW. I think they have like a bar in there, so... That'll be interesting, and I'll be up there 5 minutes. I'm just a guest spot.
Oh, okay. Will this be your first time?
It will be my first time, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I think I got the funniness down a little bit. I'm a serious person still, but I'm trying to you know, reunite with the funny part of myself.
I think usually people on their first time they kill it the first time, and then on the second or third time they end up having their first bomb.
They lose their window.
Right. So I'm sure you'll do great.
Thank you.
You are funny. I just keep welcome to the show. What do you think of St. Louis?
You.
Would you rather be in Miami?
No comments. No, I'm just kidding.
Nope.
I mean, I like it. I just wish it would be more Colombian restaurants around. More like, Latin American food, not just Mexican.
Right.
Mexican, we have a lot.
Well, you go to the Mexican
Mexican
places
restaurants.
here in St. Louis. What do you think about? I mean, is that really how the food is down in Colombia? Like,
Well, it is like
Tex-Mex.
talk a little bit more. Yeah, just like, there you go.
Mexico
Yeah.
is a whole different country. Like we, as a Colombians, we are not used to Mexican food.
Okay.
And here is more like Tex-Mex. So
It's Mexican. I don't care.
it
what you
is
say.
it is
Real
different than my country. So it feels more like homemade, but it's nothing like it will bring me any memory.
Well, what's a good dish for Colombia dish? What
Colombia dish?
Like-
It would be our like most popular. It would be like bandeja paisa. That it has at least 8 components.
Say that in English, please.
Yeah. So what? component-
Bandeja paisa. So it has like a chorizo, rice, arepa, that is like a thicker tortilla with cornmeat. It has ground beef itself, and then it has sweet plantains, blood sausage, and I don't remember, avocado also.
Avocado. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a full comfort meal.
I think I would die if I came to your
Yeah.
country because I eat a plain hamburger and just
They
a
actually
cheese,
have a lot of
cheese
hamburger
pizza.
restaurants.
I don't think I'd live very long in your country, but it does sound very nice. So
Look, bro, I tell you, I'm American, and I found all the unhealthy American places there.
That's true.
They actually have
Even-
Burger King there, believe it or not.
Yeah,
They
Burger
do.
King and McDonald's
Yeah,
or
it's all
KFC.
there, don't worry.
But
okay.
everywhere, like for example, even American food is so different in Colombia.
much
Like
healthier down
it's
there.
much healthier there. Like I used to work in a place that it was like KFC crossing the street, and we used to have KFC at least 4 times per week. We didn't gain a pound, and here I do twice per week, and I'm like this in 2 seconds.
wow.
They put so many more chemicals in the food here.
Plus,
it's
you can
ridiculous.
walk over there more. Like we have sidewalks. Like that's one of the things that I miss from my country.
Ditmer has shoulders. It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
exactly.
Well,
And then
you said
think-
Ditmer.
Didmer.
Dites-moi,
Yeah,
as
no.
we've been told.
Like I need to walk in Didmer with a taser for it feel like safer.
A lot of serial killers
Because-
out there, apparently.
Yeah,
Serial
probably.
rapists, you know.
Because we have shoulders. We don't have sidewalks in nowhere.
I walk
okay.
on the
City.
shoulders all the time. Nothing happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have like a I'm from St. Charles, and they have a downtown Main Street. They don't have a Main Street Ditmer down there.
No, even the post office.
There's
we
a
don't
Dollar
have-
General downtown.
That's when you know your town made when they have a Dollar General. That's when you know they're on the map.
Yeah,
baby.
2 of them. And
Two.
actually, when you look up Ditmer, Missouri, the downtown portion is pretty much centered right on the Dollar General. I'm like, the fuck? What kind of downtown is this?
What is your are your parents? You talked about your parents earlier. You got an older brother. You got
Yeah.
some family members. What do they think of your new wife here? Are they still around?
Well,
Are they still around?
Yeah, I mean, my oldest brother, his wife is actually from China.
Man, you guys are just spreading around the country. Yeah.
But I mean, they like her just fine. It's not like everybody hated her or anything. You know,
It's just the way you answer stuff. So funny. I'm sorry.
as long as it gets laughed, is all matters.
Oh my God! Wow. It just,
I mean, I think they like her. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I hope.
Either that or they're good at pretending.
Hey, do you feel like they like you?
That's what they pretend.
Look, I'll say this: my family likes her more than me, and I told you,
I
I
can't
told you,
believe
Colombia
that.
is very backwards in that regard.
My
Her
family.
family likes me more than her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her parents love me more than her.
Yeah.
What do they say when you call your mom?
My
name?
mom says, like, how is my son? And I'm like, I'm fine. And he is good, okay. I mean, he's
Yeah.
doing okay. But
You don't ask
the
about
first
you.
question is, how is my son doing? I'm like, okay. Yeah. But I mean, I like his family. They are pretty. His mom, dad, is that?
Yeah, my mom died back in 2015.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
Yeah.
But his dad and his brothers, they have super fun humor. Like,
Look,
it's like quoting movies
Yeah,
and all this stuff, and they are very sarcastic, like I am. So
I'll say this about her: she is good at getting people to like her. And I say that because my dad, I can email him paragraphs. He's an emailer. See, that's all he really does. He doesn't like talking on the phone.
Yeah.
He doesn't text. He emails. So I can send him a 2-page long email, and he'll send me back, okay. That's his normal email back to me is like 2 words. But when she emails him, she'll send him like a couple of sentences, and he'll email back 2 pages.
Wow.
So yeah, I would venture to say that they probably like her more. I think they see her as like the anchor for my out of control life.
Right.
Yeah.
They're probably happy that she came in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm happy she came into your life. After talking to her for an hour, I'm very happy.
You probably like her better than me, I would imagine. Most people.
I don't know. She didn't pee on my seat upstairs, though. I don't know.
I'll clean
Not
it
yet.
up, man. Don't just give me some stuff. I'll clean it up. It's all
And
good.
my humor is a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a clean podcast.
I
baby.
know.
Yeah.
We-
That's been a fun
which
podcast. I told you we
like.
were going to have fun. Did I not say we were going to have fun?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you did. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be fun because, I was
That's fine. That's fine. No, I told you it was going to be a fun podcast.
it's cool. I'm sure
Yeah,
you
I
have some
like
very
it.
loyal listeners.
We'll see. We'll see who's listening.
Maybe I'll get
Actually,
some new ones
here,
for
let me-
you.
Let me see
Yeah.
if. I hope so. Let me see.
Hopefully,
Maybe
we
my
will
beautiful
not,
wife will attract some
Yeah,
new
hopefully we will
listeners.
not fail after this.
Oh, Pete said we're looking good, brother. So Colonel Sanders himself. So
Colonel
there-
Sanders, baby.
Yeah,
You
so-
start KFC.
So,
Yeah.
but
Is that where you post the podcast?
it
interviews?
goes on Facebook and then on YouTube
Okay.
as well. And then I'll give you. We'll talk about this after. But I
Okay.
give it to you on Google Drive, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Oh,
Sweet,
You
sweet.
can put it on your own
That's
Nice.
nice.
stuff. So.
I
Sounds
like
good.
St. Louis so far. I mean, we have been for his job. We have been roving all over the country. Like I know right now, 18 states, and I have been here for 1 year.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good. That's more states than I
So,
think I've ever been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even I have friends that they have lived in here for 7 years, and they just know like 5 or something like that. So it has been. I love America. It is. I am more around Eureka, Missouri, and people there are so nice. They are so approachable.
All the brunch moms are there.
Oh, okay.
They are
brunchers.
so cool there. So
You touched something. You said you have friends. You have friends from Columbia that live here too.
yeah, they
Oh,
live
okay.
there too.
Okay.
Exactly.
She
So-
said her cousin lived in Leawood, Kansas.
Okay.
So we'd go over there and they'd always go get Chipotle together.
Chipotle.
Sorry, how do you say Chipotle? Whatever the hell it is.
Chipotle.
Yeah, and then she just recently went back to Columbia. And do you know why she went back to Columbia?
I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you. She said that I moved here. I was skinny, and I was here for how long is she here for?
Like 2 years.
2 years. She gained. She's like, I gained all this weight, and then she's like,
A couple
I
of
can.
disease.
She said I could eat whatever I wanted in Colombia and not gain a pound, and I come here for a couple of years and I get fat.
You're probably your conspiracy theory is probably right, but that processed food, you're probably on the
I
money
try
on
and
that
eat
one.
organic, man. That's the closest we have to healthy food, and even
But
that
this
label's bought out.
tax bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Organic food is so
Wow.
expensive.
It's like triple the cost of regular
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, don't try and be healthy. Just eat like shit, and you'll be much better.
Yeah, like for example, the first time I came here, he just took me to Whole Foods. I didn't know Walmart or all this stuff, and I just
Yeah.
know Whole Foods. And then one time I was by myself in Walmart, and then I was like, babe, I call him like, why food is so cheap here? What is this? What milk is $1
Foods, whole paycheck.
with the Whole Foods is $8 and $11 for us. And he was like, okay, that's Walmart, that's not organic. And I was
'cause
like,
it's not
why
that-
we're not buying here?
Because it's not the whole paycheck store.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about some other things that that you like about the United States. What's some other
United
things?
States.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love. It feels a free country. Like you have more freedom to be walking, or I mean, of course, not in the city areas, but you can you can go to I don't know
Non-dimmer.
trails. That's
Right, right.
that's something that I cannot do in my country. So going to trails and do more outdoors, it is super nice. Like people, and then you have all these crazy cultures, food and people that you know. So it's like rich in culture. I like that.
She likes the burgers and fries a lot.
I also like that.
Yeah.
Good fries, good sizes for the fries. In Colombia, you will find just medium as a large.
Yeah.
And the pop is just the kid size as a normal size.
Well, that's why people are thinner in Colombia though, because you don't get the
We got-
supersize me stuff. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah, that was the first thing that she noticed when we got here. Like, we go and get like a small meal at Burger King or something,
Yeah.
and it's like the pop is like this big for the small. It's like, the fuck.
Yeah, but I like here, and another thing is like people are so nice. The majority they are treating me. I don't have any. I never ever feel like any racism or something like that. They're super nice. They're super welcome. So I like it in general. I really like it. Maybe we will.
No racism's coming from me.
Yeah, exactly. Just for him.
So, do you have ex-boyfriends from Colombia that get jealous that you ran to America with this gentleman here?
No.
Colombia, Germany.
Actually, I used to live in Germany, and
Oh, you
my
did?
ex, it was from Germany before I met him.
Oh, okay.
Which
Was
German?
he military or was he?
No, he
Oh.
was IT
Oh, okay.
senior guy,
Was he
consultant
spoke-
in Portugal.
But he was German. He spoke German.
He spoke German, Persian, and English.
Okay.
Sounds so romantic.
So you can
Persian.
speak,
English and English.
but can you speak Prussian and?
I learned a little bit of German
Oh, okay.
when I was living there,
Oh, okay. Wow.
which I love Germany too. I mean, my favorite thing from there is the free speed.
Free speed. Audubon.
Like you can go to the highways there and do whatever you want for a
and
couple
people get
of,
the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Is it hard to learn other languages? Because you seem like you're very well spoken. I be honest. Yeah. I mean.
Thank you.
Well, you're
I
welcome.
was surprised too.
I mean,
Because for me, if I went, I don't think I would be able to. Banyo, I'd be like Banyo. That's the only thing I'd be able to say because I would have to go to the bathroom. That's it. That's it.
that's it. I mean,
Daniel.
I've learned English in my school, so I went in a private
Oh,
school.
okay.
So
Oh, you did.
that's not something common. But German definitely is a difficult language. But
Right.
in Germany, you can survive with English. Like pretty much any kid or elderly person, they speaks English. So. But German, I will not recommend it unless if you are living in the country and you can practice every day.
You were saying earlier that he proposed 1 month in, and he's in denial here, folks.
Yeah,
he's in denial.
It's 2 months.
2 months. He says 2 months. What was it about him that you know? Was it funny? Was it pretty eyes? Was it was it a smile?
Definitely.
Well,
Yes.
he has the eyes, but he has a really good heart. Like and the humor also. The humor is a plus.
Yeah.
Like my dad always tell me, like if you feel a connection with somebody and you have a good humor with that person, it means like it is powerful and it will be like long last. So the humor was super nice, the eyes, and one thing that makes me in love of him is
And I got a big dick.
I will not talk about that. I don't want fans
Just
behind you. But he tries everything. So the weirdest dishes in Colombia, the weirdest meal, the weirdest whatever. If I was like telling baby, can you try this? He will say yeah. And I was like, that's something that I don't have.
Wow.
I am so super picky, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this. I will not do it. And he's like, okay, let's do it.
Even if it's
So
on the fork moving, I'm like,
what's-
he's super outgoing.
What's the craziest food that you've ever eaten? Mine was like snouts. Those kind of gross pig snouts.
the craziest food I've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it's mondongo.
That does
Mondongo?
not sound right. That sounds like Mandingo.
Mondongo. We're not
That
talking
sounds
about.
like
We're not talking about his penis anymore. We're talking about food.
I promise
He
it's
doesn't
not
know
that.
Like, to Colombians, that doesn't sound sexual. Mandongo. That's like,
But
I'm like,
it is the stomach. We call the first
Yeah.
stomach to the cow,
Yeah.
mondongo. That is chewy.
Oh, the stomach of a cow.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Wow.
explain
I
that
guess,
in
yeah, I
English.
guess that probably would be the weirdest thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's super chewy.
Yeah, it's like bubble gum. It's really chewy.
Yeah.
Is it like? Have you ever had pig snout? That's real. That's real chewy too. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I spit it out. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
he didn't like it.
Yeah,
but he
that-
tried.
I tried it. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
that's how my parents grew up on like that type of stuff. You never wasted anything, so they had like cow brains and like
Really?
ears.
Same in
and-
Colombia.
Yeah, yeah. You don't
Wow.
waste anything. So
Jeez, that's crazy.
that's crazy. So
Yeah.
I hear the cow brains are high in protein, though.
I don't know.
And in Colombia, you can
I
get
never had 'em. Never had 'em.
Okay.
in Colombia you can get cow eyes, and people likes that.
Cow. Oh, I see
Yeah.
somebody eat that on Fear Factor. Okay.
Whoa.
If I was on
That's-
Fear Factor, I don't care. For money, I can eat anything. I don't give a shit what it is. I'm going to eat that damn thing to get to the
You're
next round.
easily paid for.
Eat. I think everybody has their price. Everybody has their price.
That's
I
true.
think.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
True.
So Well, thank you so much for finally coming on the podcast. Thank you, Justin. You're a very funny guy.
Thank you.
Let me know when you're. I probably won't be able to do your stand up you're talking about, but keep me informed. And I'd love to have you come back on the show sometime. We do a fun show called the Late Night Digs on Friday nights, and we play little fun games. Like I was showing you some of those clips.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you would fit perfect in that. I think
that'd be fun.
Too.
Yeah,
and if you, like I said, if you like conspiracy theories, I got my blog site, stonergazette.com.
Well, I have some guy who wants to come on the podcast because he believes the Earth is flat, and so I got to do some research.
Yeah, I haven't researched that at all, so I don't really have an opinion on that one.
Yeah, but he wants to talk about other conspiracies and stuff, and maybe we will do one.
You got to keep that to a minimum, huh?
Well, it was weird. Well, back in like 2021, I had a guy on, and he was flagged on YouTube for being like a conspiracy guy, and so like his whole podcast got pulled down on my YouTube channel. So now I was kind of like, well, maybe I shouldn't talk about.
So he really pissed.
He was talking
off.
about like the election shit and stuff like that. He was going pretty deep, and so
you know what happened? He struck a nerve with somebody. He said something he wasn't supposed to know about. That's what happened.
Or so
That's
algorithm.
conspiracy.
His just me typing in his name, it was flagged like from the get go. Like it was like flagged like before he even said anything about it.
He's like Edward Snowden. He's probably on the run now.
No, he's actually really big. I think the tide's turning with a lot of that shit. So he's actually pretty big on YouTube. He's way bigger than me. So yeah,
interesting.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, it sounds good. I'm down for coming with some future stuff if you got it.
Yeah, sure. So
you gotta let me wear those glasses though.
What? Yeah, I get the Temu special, baby. You know,
Temu special.
Yeah. So I get all my sunglasses from Temu. So, but all right. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for watching the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. We have a great show tomorrow night at 7. Check it out and like the artistunitednetwork.com on Facebook and check out the website www.artistunitednetwork.com. And we're out.
Check it.